a woman in Lebanon robbed a bank so she could get her own money. Do you understand? Because in Lebanon, there's a financial crisis. This is now going off 2-3 years, right? And you're only allowed to withdraw, I think it's $800 per month. But the point is that you cannot access your money, right? The banks are not letting people access the money. So she literally went in and robbed it. And here's a video. It's a short video from social media. This is BLOM Bank in Beirut, so in the Lebanese capital. You can see there's a pistol here. It looks like a Glock. So this was reported also not just by Lebanese media, but also on NBC News. Gun-toting woman holds up Beirut bank and leaves with her own savings. So the reason that she robbed the bank, she wanted... I don't know if you can say she robbed the bank. Let's say she held it up to get her own money from the bank, was so she could pay for her sister's cancer treatment, which is, this is dark. It's very sad. And so just as the article says, $13,000 of her own savings. And there we go. So people, according to Reuters, people can withdraw up to $800 a month. So that I was correct on that. And of course that's ridiculous. The problem is not that you can not only not access your money, but in addition to not being able to access your money, the prices, the inflation is outrageous. The degradation of the currency is outrageous. The crisis in Lebanon is really, really bad. It's really bad. And I've reported on this with you guys many times. We've looked at food prices, how everything has gone up, the medicine. People, for example, they ask if their cousins are traveling overseas, or their brothers and sisters or their friends, please bring me back this medication. Please get me that medication, because they can't find it. Even if you have the money, you can't find... And I'm not talking even about sophisticated stuff. It could be basic stuff like painkillers or something, There's really, really a terrible crisis. Less than a year ago, we looked at how Iran was sending fuel to Lebanon through Hezbollah because there's no fuel. And then they distributed it to, I think, an orphanage, or was it something operated by nuns? In any case, it went to basically hospitals, charities, and so on. They gave it out for free. And they sold the rest of it at the basically with no margin of profit. So they didn't make any money from it at all. It was basically sold at the same price as before. But I just thought I'd tell you guys about this because it's such a crazy story. And the woman, she told Al Jadid, which is a Lebanese outlet, that the gun was a toy, and she was trying to retrieve money to finance the treatment of her sister as cancer. She said, I have nothing more to lose. I got to the end of the road. I went to the branch manager 2 days ago and said, my sister is dying. She doesn't have time. I got to a point where I was going to sell my kidney so that my sister could receive treatment. That's extremely sad. And when she's saying, I was going to sell my kidney, she's not speaking metaphorically. There are people that have actually done this in Lebanon, in Syria. Man, the situation is really bad, and they are interlinked. Lebanon's economy is linked to Syria's economy and vice versa. You can't deny that. That's a fact. Beirut and Damascus are like 2 hours apart by car. And a lot of money that Syrian businesses have is actually in Lebanese banks. So the war affects Lebanon, the crisis in Lebanon affects Syria, and vice versa. It's terrible. It's really terrible, and people have actually done that, just so they can make ends meet. In one of the articles that I read, that a man did something similar in August of this year, so just last month. He also, quote-unquote, robbed a bank, or shall we say held up a bank to get his own money. And also, I think it was because he needed to pay medical bills for someone in his family. Really sad stuff. I know the man, he did not get charged in the end. The bank dropped the charges. With this woman, I don't know what the situation is, whether they're actually going to prosecute her or not, but they're saying here that she was celebrated as a hero across social media in Lebanon, as many in the small crisis-hit country struggle to make ends meet and retrieve their savings. She encouraged others to take similar action to reclaim their savings.